Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I hope all of you will be fine. In the last week lectures, we have discussed the speed control methods of DC shunt motor and also solved some numerical problems. In this lecture, we will have a look at DC generators. As we know, DC generator transforms mechanical power into electrical power. During this power conversion, that is from mechanical power to electrical power, some power losses occur that decrease the quantity of power conversion, as we have already discussed in detail. In this lecture, we will have a detailed look at DC generators and its equivalent circuit. First of all, we will discuss the types of DC generators. There are 5 major types of DC generators. The first one is separately excited DC generator. The second one is shunt DC generator. The third type is series DC generator. The fourth one is cumulatively compounded DC generator. And the last and fifth one is differentially compounded DC generator. These are the 5 major types of DC generators. Now, first of all, we will discuss the definition of each type of DC generator. The first type is separately excited DC generator. The separately excited DC generator is the generator in which the field flux is derived from a separate power source, which is independent from the generator itself. As you can see in this figure, there are 2 main parts of the DC generator. The static part of this machine is called the stator, and the rotating part of the DC generator is called the rotor. The field across the static part of the DC generator is called the field winding. That is, the winding across the static part of the DC generator is called the field winding, and the winding across the rotating part of the DC generator is called the armature winding. There are 2 main types of the winding. The first one is the field winding and the second one is the armature winding. The separately excited DC generator is the generator in which field winding is derived from a separate power source. It means the voltage we will give to the field winding will be separate from the armature. In this type of the generator is called the separately excited DC generator. It means it is the generator in which the field flux is derived from a separate power source, which is independent from the generator itself. The second type of the DC generator is called the shunt DC generator. The shunt DC generator is the generator in which the field flux is derived by connecting the field circuit directly across the terminals of the generator. It means in this type of the DC generator, both field and armature winding are connected in parallel. If the field and the armature windings are connected parallel, then this type of the generator is called the shunt DC generator. So the third type is the series DC generator. What is the series DC generator? The series DC generator is the generator in which the field flux is derived by connecting the field circuit in series with the armature of the generator. It means in this type of the DC generator, both field winding and the armature winding are connected in series. If the field and armature winding are connected in series, then this type of the generator is called the series DC generator. The fourth type is cumulatively compounded DC generator. So what is the cumulatively compounded DC generator? It is the generator in which both shunt and series field present and their effects are additive. It means in this type of the generator, the field winding is connected in series with the armature and in the parallel with the armature as well. It means there are three types of the winding. One field winding is connected in series with the armature winding and other field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding. If the field winding is connected in series as well as in parallel with the armature winding, then this type of the generator is called cumulatively compounded DC generators. And here the effects are additive. It means the both field windings effect will be add up. The fifth and last type of the DC generator is the differentially compounded DC generator. So what is the differentially compounded DC generator? It is the generator in which both shunt and series field present and their effects are subtracted. It means here the total number of windings are 3. One field winding will be connected to in series with the armature winding and the other field winding will be connected in parallel with the armature windings. And their effects, that is series field and shunt field, will be subtracted or opposing or cancel out each other. So these are the definition of the different types of the DC generator. So the next point is, how do we do the comparison between different types of the DC generators? Usually comparison between DC generators is made up of voltage regulation. That is, usually we do the comparison of different types of the DC generators based on the voltage regulation of each type of the DC generators. So now the question is, what is the voltage regulation? Voltage regulation is the terminal voltage at no load minus the terminal voltage at full load condition divided by the voltage at full load condition multiplied by 100. So there are two types of the voltage regulation. The first one is the positive voltage regulation and the second one is negative voltage regulation. Positive voltage regulation is the voltage regulation in which no load voltage will be greater than the full load voltage. It means if the value of no load voltage will be more as compared to the full load voltage, then the answer of this equation will be positive. And the voltage regulation is called the positive voltage regulation. So the positive voltage regulation means a dropping characteristics. It means when we increase the load, then the curve will be drop or decreasing by increasing the load. The second type of the voltage regulation is the negative voltage regulation. Negative voltage regulation is the voltage regulation in which full load voltage will be greater will be greater than the no load voltage. If the full load voltage is greater than the no load voltage, then this type of the voltage regulation is called the negative voltage regulation. It means when we connect the load, then the voltage due to load will increase. If the voltage due to load will increase, then the answer of this equation will be negative. If the answer of this equation will be negative, then this type of voltage regulation is called negative voltage regulation. It means in case of negative voltage regulation, when we connect the load, then the voltage will arise or voltage rises. As in case of any DC generators, input is mechanical power and output is electrical power. To rotate the rotor of the DC generator, we give mechanical power, which is usually called the prime mover. As we know, DC generator is basically transforms mechanical power into electrical power. It means the input of the DC generator is the mechanical power and the output of the DC generator is the electrical power. The mechanical powers, which is usually called the prime mover of the DC generator. A prime mover for a DC generator may be a steam turbine, a diesel engine, or even an electric motor, as you have seen in the lab number 6 and 7. It means because as we know, the output of electric motor is the mechanical power and the input of the DC generator is the mechanical power. We can give the mechanical power to the DC generator by using an electric motor, because the output of the electric motor is the mechanical power. By using electric motor, we can rotate the rotor of the DC generator. When the rotor of the DC generator will rotate, then according to Faraday law of electromagnetic induction, then the voltage will induce. So there are different types of device which is used to generate the mechanical power, that is steam turbine, a diesel engine, or even an electric motor. As we know, the DC generator transforms mechanical power into electrical power. It means the input power of the DC generator is the mechanical power and the output power of the DC generator is the electrical power. The mechanical power is equal to induced torque into omega or speed. It means there are two mechanical parameters in DC generator, or the input parameters of the DC generator. The first one is induced torque and the second one is speed. And the output of the DC generator is the electrical power. P is equal to Vt into IL. IL means line current, Vt means terminal voltage. There are two parameters. One is the terminal voltage and the second one is the line voltage. As we know, the relationship between speed and the internal generated voltage is directly proportional. It means when the speed of rotation of the rotors of the DC generator will increase, then the internal generated voltage according to Faraday law of electromagnetic induction will increase as well. It means the relationship between speed and internal generated voltage is directly proportional. So for comparison, we will assume speed is constant because we want to do the comparison between the different types of the DC generator. In comparison, we will assume the speed of the DC generator is constant. DC generators are quite rare in modern power systems. In modern power systems, we normally use the synchronous generator instead of DC generators. So that's why DC generators are quite rare in modern power systems. So the next topic is the equivalent circuit of DC generators. The equivalent circuit of DC generator is same as DC motor. The equivalent circuit of DC motor as we have already drawn in the last week lecture. The equivalent circuit of the DC generator and the DC motors are same. The only difference here is the direction of the current. As we know, in case of motor, the current was flowing into the machine. It means the armature current was flowing into the machine in case of DC motor. And here, in case of DC generator, current is flowing outside the machine. Here the direction of the current is outward in case of DC generator. In case of DC motor, the direction of the current was inward. Because in case of DC motor, the terminal voltage was greater than the internal generated voltage. As we know, in case of DC motor, the terminal voltage will be greater than the internal generated voltage. And in case of DC generators, the internal generated voltage will be greater than the terminal voltage. That's why the direction of the current will reverse, because in case of DC generator, the internal generated voltage will be greater than the terminal voltage. As we know, the direction of the current will follow that voltage source in which the magnitude of the voltage source will be more. In case of DC generator, the magnitude of the internal generated voltage will be more as compared to the terminal voltage. That's why in case of DC generator, the direction of the current is outward. And in case of DC motor, the terminal voltage will be more than the internal generated voltage. And due to this, the direction of the current will be into the machine. As you can see in this circuit, this is the field circuit and this is the armature circuit. We normally mark the field circuit with F1 and F2, and in the armature circuit we normally mark the terminal with A1 and A2, as you have already seen in the lab. This is the equivalent circuit of the DC generators. Is same as of the DC motor, just the difference here is the direction of the current. This is the internal resistance of the field winding and this is the inductance due to flux. This is the internal generated voltage and this voltage is called the brush drop voltage, where RA is the armature internal resistance. Because as we know, the voltage will drop across the brush. That's why this point will be positive and this point will be negative, because brushes always oppose the voltage. That's why this point will be positive and this point will be negative. We normally, because as we have already discussed, the maximum voltage drop across the brushes are 2. That's why the voltage across the brush we can neglect. Then the equivalent circuit will be like this. This is the field circuit and this is the armature circuit. We neglect the brush drop voltage because the brush drop voltage or approximate is equal to 0. That's why we can neglect the brush drop voltage. We normally take the brush drop voltage is equal to 2 volt, and this is the field circuit of the DC shunt generator. This is the equivalent circuit of the DC shunt generator, and here the direction of the current is outside of the machine. The equivalent circuit of the DC generator is similar to the DC motor except that the direction of the current flow. Now we will discuss the first type of the DC generator, that is the separately excited DC generator. This is the equivalent circuit of the separately excited DC generator. Here this is the field circuit and this is the armature circuit. And here, as you can see in this figure, the voltage source is separate across the field circuit. If the voltage source is separate across the field circuit, then this type of the generator is called the separately excited DC generator. And this is the rotating part or rotor. When we give the mechanical power to the rotor, then the rotor will start to rotate. When the rotor will rotate, then according to Faraday law of electromagnetic induction, internal generated voltage will produce, that is EA voltage will induce, and the field winding is used to produce the flux. That is, when we apply the voltage source across the field winding, then this voltage source, the current will flow. When the current will flow, as according to Ampere law, when the current will flow in any coil, then the magnetic field will produce. It means the relationship between field current and flux is directly proportional. When the field current will flow, then the flux will produce. It means the objective of field winding is to produce the flux in the DC generator. As we know, EA is equal to K phi into omega. If the value of the flux is 0, then the induced voltage will be 0. If the value of flux will be more, then the induced voltage will be more as well. It means the relationship between flux and internal generated voltage is directly proportional, and the relationship between the field current and the flux is directly proportional as well. So that's why we use the field winding in the DC generator. The objective of the field winding is to produce the flux in the DC generator. As we know, the internal generated voltage and the flux are directly proportional. If the value of the flux is 0, then the internal generated voltage will be 0 as well. So here the value of, if we want to calculate the value of field current, because the relationship between the field current and flux is directly proportional. If we want to calculate the value of the field current, according to Ohm law, IF will be equal to VF over RF. RF is the internal winding resistance and VF is the field winding voltage source. And by applying the KVL in this circuit, EA will be equal to VT plus IA into RA, because this voltage source, in case of DC generator, the internal generated voltage EA will be greater than the terminal voltage, that is EA will be greater than the terminal voltage. By applying the KVL in this circuit, we get EA is equal to VT plus IA into RA, because the terminal voltage will oppose the internal generated voltage, because the direction of the current due to terminal voltage is opposite to the direction of the current due to internal generated voltage. That's why by applying the KVL we get EA is equal to VT plus IA into RA. Here the value of VT is EA minus IA into RA. By using this formula, we can calculate the terminal or output voltage of the DC generator, and EA is the internal generated voltage, VT is the output voltage. Now, as you can see in this circuit, this circuit is the series circuit. As we know, in case of series circuit, the current will be same. That is, the line current will be equal to the armature current. That is, IL is equal to IA. So that's it for this lecture. In the next lecture, we will discuss the terminal characteristics for the DC generator.